This is Vandal Hearts, possibly part 6 with ConorHughes. I'm tired. Connor is super awake. He's already fighting bees. Someone was trying to do the bee movie with him, and he was like, I'm not going to be the bad guy in this movie, okay? It's totally logical for a man to not want his girlfriend to date an actual real bee.
You've lost me, but yes.
That is the plot of the bee movie, is that a bee learns to talk to humans, and a real human woman decides that she loves the bee more than she loves her actual human boyfriend. And her human boyfriend is like, you cannot love this bee more than you love another human. That's literally crazy. And the movie paints him as the bad guy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he is trying to deny love, you know?
Between a human and a bee. Yes. And let's be clear, this is not a bee that's like human sized or human shaped. This is a very real bee that is bee sized.
Well, then at least you know it's going to be short lived. I mean, I don't think bees live very long. Probably like a year at most.
This is you're way too complicated for me right now, Connor.
Yeah, you just know. I mean, he knows it's going to be a fling. Like it won't last, as they say.
That's true. All right, you're telling me that I'm about to go into a series of fights at this prison.
Yes.
I recall stopping a little early last time because I didn't want to dive into this particular problem, this pugnacious problem. Oh, sorry. Hold on. I got all tabbed. I've got a new friend for you. Enjoy. Hang in there, old man. Oh. Horrible treating an old man like that. I can't tell. Does he have futuristic cyber goggles, or is he just wearing really weird sunglasses that are glinting?
Yeah, I think they're definitely vaguely futuristic. He's meant to be sort of like a techie. Maybe, what's it called? Steampunk-esque?
Okay. That just reminds me of the Key and Peele skit on becoming steampunk. Where am I? The dungeon. Don't worry, we're friendly. My name is Darius. I'm a tinkerer by trade. I quarreled with a soldier. Next thing I know, I'm in here. The big guy here calls himself Clint. Oh, I don't think the microphone picked up my ha noise. I know you. You're Count Claymore. You two know each other? Yes. I'm sorry, I don't. The riot in the Dover district. Oh, yes. From the security forces. But what have you done to be beaten like this? They're frantically searching for the royal ring. The royal ring. It has the power to tame the magic stone. Magic stone. Okay, this is listen, I fucking hate this form of dialogue where someone says something and the next person repeats it back with a question mark.
Yeah.
And listen, it's okay if you're at an improv theater group, because that's what they're trained to do. In order to buy time, you repeat what the last person said with a question. Mm-hmm. And if you're doing improv, that's fine. These people are not trained theatricians. They're not trained. Oh my god, I want to say lesbians, but that's not what it's called. Thespians. They're not trained thespians doing an improv bit. They're military men in a very real prison, and repeating it back with a question mark is just really fucking annoying.
I agree.
So the thing is, it's a device writers use in video games and novels in order to pad word count. and indicate that like they are having trouble finding a way to be like, yeah, this is, you know, the magic stone, it's really important, other than to just continuously say the word magic stone over and over again. It's like how,
I mean, I guess.
oh no, you go, you're a writer.
Well, I'm just yeah. I mean, like in general,
Why are you laughing at that?
Well, because I'm not a writer, but I didn't want to like quibble.
You're a comic book artist.
Sure, yeah, storyteller. You know, just like
Yeah.
you. So yeah, I mean, in general, like you know, in this moment, Clint needs to say something. Like the writer needs Clint to say something, and he needs to bounce off of this prompt. And then, of course, also the writer wants to emphasize what this thing is and that Clint cares about it. So all of those things are communicated with this, you know, device that we like both dislike, but it is effective, and I guess that's probably why it's a refrain often used.
What if he just said, tell me what, or please tell me what you know? No magic stone question mark.
Well, that's like, this is like when you know, when you're writing dialogue and you always want to make sure that you reference the person's name as opposed to saying he or she or whatever.
Yes.
Or even not reference the name, because you remind the reader like what we're talking about. We're talking about the magic stone.
But I don't like it. I don't like it. I almost called you Vandal.
If he said, please tell me what you know about the magic stone, that's very robotic, right? Here, the emphasis is on the magic stone. Put that first, and then he prompts for more information.
You know what? I actually would have preferred Clint to go full anime and go like, what? Exclamation question mark. Tell me what you know. Question mark. You know, just be like, what? Complete dramatic overreacting. But that's just who I am. That's true.
But I agree. I can see that. But you know, I think there's a good argument for like this literary device. I haven't really analyzed this idea before, but I think that all of that sort of like works as like why people use it.
I definitely wasn't contesting why people use it. I just said I don't like it.
Yeah, I agree.
It should be noted that Connor said that I am a storyteller, and that is not correct.
That's correct. You are a storyteller.
No. I'm going to explain in a second, but it's in the same way that I'm not an author. You see, if I wrote stories, I would be an author. And if I told stories, I would be a storyteller, but I don't do either of those things. I am an interactive storyteller, which is worse than either of those, where I tell part of a story and I let other people fill in the interesting parts in order to get people to pay attention to what I'm doing. I require the power of many to accomplish what either of those other two people can do with the power of one.
Yeah, I mean, you're a humble man, AP, and
I am.
We can all appreciate that.
You are literally the only person in all of history who has ever said that to me. I need you to understand, I have no problem with what some would call arrogance or pride.
Sure, I know, and I don't think that contradicts the idea that you're humble about this particular role, but at the same time,
it is a role that I play, a role playing
interactive. But you know, you're all that. I think necessarily to be a interactive storyteller, you also have the skill of a storyteller.
Perhaps I am not interesting enough to be a good interactive storyteller based on my YouTube and Twitch numbers. And I certainly am not good enough to just do streams where I write stories and then recite them out to people. So unfortunately, I'll never be where I want to be at. But I am where I am at.
Sometimes we get our like fandom later, I suppose. Hopefully.
Well, Connor, I have to tell you, if in 40 years the YouTube trove of what I've done here comes out, and I'm fucking dead, and they're like, wow, this guy was a genius, not appreciated in his time. I need you, people who appreciate me outside of my time, to know that I don't give a fuck about you. If I'm dead, I don't care how many views I'm getting. Where's the money? It's not going to me anymore.
Maybe you can dedicate a foundation that you're.
This
your
isn't
legacy
Doctor Who.
is.
I'm not going to travel forward in time to hear about how influential I was because I cut my ear off and maybe my shit was like really good. This is a really deep Doctor Who reference, and it should be noted I've never seen a full episode of Doctor Who. It's just that's referenced so goddamn much. Yeah, just I'm not there. I'm not there. I'm not where I want to be, Connor, in terms of writing or authorialship. Tying everything together is difficult, and probably the biggest and hardest skill that any writer or storyteller has. And you can see this in a lot of game masters because it's the one thing they hate to do, is describing a conversation between two people who are not the player characters. Mm-hmm. I don't like to do it. I know that there are some game masters that flat out refuse to do it. The players will attempt to get two NPCs to roleplay with each other, and being able to show that to an audience and disentangle it in a reasonable way requires more skills than either just storytelling or just writing. It is the pinnacle of authorship, is to create reasonable, believable conversations between two different people they don't share goals and they don't share ways of thinking, and the conversation isn't just boring and stupid. Mm-hmm. That's the rough part. It's a lot easier to have two very real people play characters and simulate that. It's much harder for one person to do both or more sides.
I agree.
All right, let's get back to the game.
Sure.
It has the power to tame the magic stone. So, that's the history of the magic stone. I truly don't know where the ring is either. Must not be used for evil, or it will be the end of the world. I want to point out that the count at the bottom, he used to be facing to the right, and now he's facing to the left, but all they did was flip his rotation, because his blood patterns are the same on both sides of his body.
Fair enough.
Footsteps, the jailer again. Kira. Legendary voice actor Kira Buckland. Clint, they're planning to execute you tomorrow. Here are the keys. I have weapons outside. Take me with you. Why should I trust you? Sorry, I couldn't betray Dolph. I understand if you despise me, but please don't die. Now hold on. I might not remember a lot, but I'm pretty sure that Dolph sent some sort of shadow assassin to shadow her to prevent her from doing this exact situation. Right? Am I crazy in thinking that was a whole scene where Dolph revealed that he's not working for either side and he has a secret third-party assassin that can appear out of nowhere?
Yeah, I think that's right.
So my question is, if that secret third-party assassin just watched this woman gather weapons and keys and start walking towards the cell, why didn't he just fucking stab her in the throat over and over again? Like, this conversation should have never happened if this guy was even remotely competent.
Maybe he's like not watching right this second.
I mean, that's just continuing to go to the not competent, but all right. I mean, this is just one of those things you have to allow for as a writer. It's unrealistic, and most people probably wouldn't even think about it without some level of analysis, but the situation doesn't make sense. But if you want to have a good story where Clint and Kira escape together and get back on there, will they, won't they? You have to do it.
Right.
Kira! You'd better run while you still can. By the way, I think I'll come with you. Count Claymore's like, just leave me here to die. Count, you're coming too. It's no good. I can't make it. Yeah, I knew this shit was gonna happen. I'll be fine. They won't kill me until they find the royal ring. Sorry, Count. We'll come back for you. These are like crab walking. Their arms are so jacked compared to the rest of their bodies. Is this the power of JoJo memes? They were gonna kill us, huh? Thanks for the rescue, Clint. But how did you get the keys? I'll tell you after we get out of here. Listen to me carefully. Don't bother hitting the juggernauts from the front or side. You have to circle around and attack their backs. What is this guy's weapon?
He's got a bow.
Weirdo. Alright. You want to give me the battle rundown here, Dr. Robotnik?
Yes, please. Alright, so now here's an interesting battle setup. The POV of the Jailbreakers, Clint, Eleni, Eamon, and the newcomer Darius Archer. The only enemy type active here are the humanoid juggernauts. The weak spot is that can only be killed by being hit from behind, and anyone, even Eleni, will deal an one-hit KO if it gets set up. Since herbs are going to be far more useful in the battle after this, doing tit-for-tat hits is recommended. Enemy hits character, character kills enemy. Magic can still damage the enemies, but it's usually not enough for a one-hit KO, and shouldn't be used at this point. Use it to get Eleni extra XP. Arguably, the easiest place to do this is where the unopened treasure chests are found. This will usually serve as a barrier, letting any character within range can easily slip around and whack a baddie into the hellfire. 3 immediately ahead towards the character. After the first 3 are defeated, kill the mimic treasure chest 1, which is right next to Darius on the right currently.
This is a mimic?
Yeah, that's a mimic. By ganging up on it with the archers, then having someone deal the finishing blow to it, use the southwest button to open the path to the other treasure chest room, 3 and 4, which is on the other side, like on the top left of the screen right now, and continue killing from there. A note about killing the foes, except for the 3 in the 2 chest area, by using magic through the lock gate, Eleni can pick them off far easier. At least so that they don't completely swarm the party with 2 on one side. Once the general tactic is learned, it's the distribution of XP that the player should think about. Next battle can be grueling at times, especially for Clint, so making Eleni learn phase shift will help a lot. The men should get the scrap XP after the time has arrived. As for the treasure chest, make sure Clint has at least 1 mega herb, and will be of great use. The Grim Helm, found in the southeast corner, will also be a great item to get, but it's hard to get also. Use the magic near the B switch, which is to the left of your screen currently in that hallway that's coming out. Using the magic near the B switch allows Eleni to kill at least 1 juggernaut, as stated, which will help in collecting items. So yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's the B switch up there to the top left. So I think what they were saying is, yeah, let them come to you and then swarm around them.
And this is a mimic, this treasure chest?
Yeah, I believe so.
So I want to attack it?
Eventually. Whenever, I guess after have you killed the first 3 or something?
I have not.
Okay, yeah. I think you can basically take your time with this map, like, just clear one hazard at a time, because I think the basis of the map is that you control the flow of battle.
As a Fire Emblem player, I'm used to controlling the flow of battle. Huh?
Yeah.
On 1,000 battlefields, I've shown my strategic brilliance. The power of F9!
Be back against that wall, smarty pants.
He's wall riding like a coward.
Like a bower rider.
And I don't think I can get behind that guy either. I'm gonna have to just back off.
Yeah.
I probably don't want to stop here, though. I want to leave enough room for them to come through. For sure. Yeah, this isn't how I want to do it at all, but I now no longer have a choice. I have to let them come to me. We can't even get behind him, huh? Wait, is this guy facing the wrong direction? What way is he actually facing?
He's facing to the right. He's facing the same.
So the treasure chest is at his back. Okay.
Yeah. So if you open the treasure chest from the back, in theory, I guess you could get him.
I don't have enough walking to do that. Yeah. We're just gonna have to keep retreating. This room's a better room to face them in anyway. We need enough space to get behind them.
Yeah.
The real problem is going to be figuring out how to get Lenny there. Yeah, the narrow hallways are what really fucked this map up for sure.
Yeah.
The mechanic you need to win is interesting, but I think we're just gonna have to retreat again.
Semi-random question, but because I'm lettering, it does come up. Do you know is there a math, and you might not know this, but do you think there's a mathematical symbol for something that could be considered to be, not unknown, because that would be obviously a variable, but like up and down, maybe, possibly?
Do you know the story of how they became called X-rays?
How what? Sorry?
X-rays.
Became X-rays.
Yep. You know, X-raying something?
Sure, okay. What's that?
There was the guy who invented it was friends with the mathematician, and he asked a very similar question, like, well, I don't really know what to call these things. We're not really sure what they do. And his friend said, you know, in mathematics, when we don't know what something is, we call it a variable. We call it X. Mm-hmm. That's it. That's the whole story. You're asking me, is there a mathematical symbol for going up or going down? Do you mean in physical space?
No, more like if it was a plus or a minus or a maybe or a multiply, or it could be like, it's sort of like a symbol that symbolizes multiple possible symbols. So it's not a variable in the sense that a variable references a specific asset within an equation, I guess I would say. But I'm talking about a symbol that represents, like, say, a plus and a minus are symbols that denote computation. I'm saying a variable version of that.
You want a variable where you don't know what the symbol will be.
Yeah, I think like if it could be a plus, or it could be a minus, or it could be a multiply, or it could be any number. I don't know, beyond, you know, division, beyond basic math or whatever. I don't know what the symbols are, but there are, you know, I know that there are many symbols, so I wasn't sure if maybe you might know one.
Interesting. I don't think there is such a symbol that I know of. There probably is such a symbol given how mathematics works. I think I've fucked this battle up really badly. We're literally just going in a circle and they're continuously hitting me.
You want to try restarting?
Is there a way to load from beginning of map? Yeah, I'm just having
the easiest place to do this is where the unopened treasure chests are found. This will usually serve as a barrier, letting any character within range slip by. So maybe stand like behind the treasure chest. Like, stay around the treasure chest and use that as a thing. And in general, like, it's okay to get hit by them. I don't think they hit very hard.
Yeah, but I was just walking in circles, getting nothing done is the problem.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm thinking about it.
Are you? Yes. Yeah, sorry if I'm distracting with that.
So, no, it's fine. The closest thing I can think of is the symbol for summation. You see it a lot in calculus. It's the sigma, it's the uppercase sigma. It's like a fancy E. Which basically means all things are possible under this. Sorry, all things under this need to be considered and or collectively put together.
Okay.
I would just Google real quick summation, and it should give you a better explanation.
I have done that. Summation.
I'm in the same damn situation where I'm not possibly going to be able to get behind this guy.
But he can go around the back. He can fly around his back.
Oh, can he?
Yeah.
But see, the thing is, I'm really trying to get Eleni to make the...
well,
I suppose I should take what I can get at this point.
Eleni can kill all the guys, because she can kill through the fences. Right?
Are you asking me or are you telling me?
Well, yeah, I think I'm telling you.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Sure. Yeah, she can kill through the fences, but the other characters can't really so much.
2, 3, 4, 5. So I need to be 6 away. This guy is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we need to go one more back. Does seem like baiting people out into the open is the plan.
Right.
We can't catch them in the passes, and we can't let them sit on the walls. Right. So they are right. You basically have to use the treasure chests as like defense zones.
This time they're right. Last time, horribly wrong.
That's true. Map is so clunky. I did this taste. Ooh, brother. It is interesting that the game repeatedly discounts the jetpack guy here as being useful, and yet right this very moment, his ability to get behind people by flying over them is the most powerful.
Yeah, it's critical. Sure. Yeah, I had that guy as a flying character in my game. It's good to have one, I think.
I don't know how slow ass Lenny is supposed to fucking get behind these people. You're asking the impossible. Oh my god. He didn't take the shortest path. Well, I mean, that was a great move. And it's going to get another free hit as well. No escape this time, brother. Of course, Clint's almost dead, so...
Trouble. You might have some herbs. There might be an herb in the chest.
Darius has the herb. He's carrying a mega herb.
He would. Carries the herb. He carries the herb.
There we go. 130 experience. That seems a little excessive, but alright.
Yeah, check to see if she has that phase shift spell that we sort of mentioned.
Did not have it last time I checked. It's the herb that I require. So we're gonna set up to take down this mimic that you say. This... Did you see the thing I posted? I don't remember whether it was this week or last week, of the Jersey pepperoni pizza that just looked absolutely fucking disgusting. It was literally bathed in grease. They're like, this is the best pizza in Jersey, and I was like, what the fuck?
I did not
fucking run a motor car off that grease.
Yeah. In the post-apocalypse, that would be the best fuel source. That pizza would be the best fuel source available.
Jersey pizza.
Jersey pizza.
Fucking.
I mean, there is good pizza in Jersey.
Yeah, sure. I listen. I'm not gonna argue that. It's just people. This video was literally like, "This is the best pizza in New Jersey," and I was like, "Okay, can't wait." I lived in New Jersey. I know there's great pizza there, and they're literally just like, we're not even gonna use a fucking paper towel to get the grease off of this pizza. We actually, so here's the thing, they added more grease to the pizza.
Yeah.
I'm not joking, they like added more fucking fats and oils to the pizza. It was insanely disgusting.
Yeah.
They were like, this is how you get all the flavor, and I was like, I know we don't license chefs, especially pizza chefs, but if we did, yours should be fucking revoked immediately.
Absolutely. Yeah, in general, like, you know, if you go on like the New Jersey Reddit or wherever, the food people like really like tends to be this, you know, kind of like very greasy stuff or whatever. And not all food is like that in Jersey, but the popular stuff, like, that's popularly Jersey identity, tends to have that sort of like that fat factor.
And I've got no problem with that. This was beyond. I haven't even seen this shit in Southern cooking. All right, let me be very clear here. As someone who grew up learning to cook Southern, I was shocked at the amount of hedonism involved.
Now let me go to the map to make sure that, you know, you got the right spot here.
I don't know that I have the right spot. We're gonna fuck around and find out.
Fuck around, find out. Yeah, it doesn't say like what the switch will do, so we should be all right.
What do I do? Push?
I think you just try push. Yeah, try push.
I was wrong.
Yeah, you have to push it.
Maybe I have to examine it. Because I seem to remember being able to move onto stuff like this and then move again, like on elevators and such. Yeah, it is examined. Right, Nick, we've all set up to fight here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that seems like the kind of thing a guide should tell you, but I guess not. I guess basically, you know, you do want Eleni to stand behind the gates and just like nuke whoever she can for the experience.
Yeah, but what are the odds someone will walk towards the gate and then face away from it? You know what I mean? That's not a likely scenario.
Well, she can attack through the shield, right, with the spells.
Did the guide say that?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you said they could only be harmed from behind.
They can, but spells will go around their shield, but they just won't. The difference is they won't one-hit KO. So like, if you want to be like very effective in terms of time, you know, that's when you want to do the melee damage. But if you just want Eleni to pump her experience, which is what you want, I think, yeah, you can just cast spells.
Interesting. I hadn't considered that option. I didn't think that's how it worked. I'm sorry, officer. I didn't know I couldn't do that.
It's alright. I probably didn't explain it correctly. No. Well, so you take the wall spots.
Oh, I do have phase shift.
Nice. So we want use that top, like in the middle, by that button in the north section of your screen right now. think she'll be able to reach those guys. You do want that chest with the Grimhelm, which is the southeastmost spot.
Now, are either of those treasure chests in there mimics?
Let me check. 3 and 4? No.
Okay.
One is the S staff, and 3 is wait, what? It doesn't seem to say what's in the other chest, what's in the 3 chest, but it's not a mimic.
Well, if it is a mimic, I'm about to be in a lot of trouble.
But apparently everyone's going out of their minds for Baldur's Gate 3 near it right now.
I mean,
Sales, I mean.
You know, it's the follow-up of 2 very successful video games. The Baldur's Gate series, which was popular, and Larian also made Divinity Original Sins. And
Yeah,
Divinity Original Sins 2 was extremely popular. And when you intersect those 2 and you add in all of the people who played Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, you know, also they had years and years to add huge, rich story, polish the mechanics, but really it's just the fact that there's so much story that has the people going gaga. They're going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. It's a new turn. Guess it is because he can move.
Nice.
I'm waiting for. God damn it, Connor.
Mimic. He didn't say that it was a mimic. My bad.
I can't rely on you, and I can't rely on this guy. They're both unreliable narrators. This guy's gonna get eaten alone.
Well, doesn't it make it more fun?
No. Because I would have had a whole group of. If I thought that there were more mimics, I would have had a whole group of people around to murder the shit out of every chest. Oh boy, this is bad.
Nah, he's fine. Look at that.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he's totally fucked. His health is completely smoked, but he can handle it.
Yeah, he can handle it.
Assuming he's got an item, he'll be okay.
And if you just get Eleni to nuke the 2 guys that, like 2 of the 3 up there, she can, before you get into fights, you know, fine. That happened.
Oh, you sound like you're in a Disney movie now. So that happened.
So that happened. Like a modern, like Marvel Disney movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I canceled my Netflix. I canceled my Disney Plus and Hulu.
Yeah, why?
I'm
something happening?
I'm just over streaming media in general. They keep putting out garbage. Well, of course, there's the massive Writers Guild and Screen Actors Guild strikes.
Yeah.
They haven't called for a boycott, I can't say that this is related to that though, because I've been planning it since before then, but it feels like a good time on top of that. They've been putting out absolute fucking garbage for so long. The Ant-Man movie was just really so not good. A lot of the Marvel TV series has been quite bad. It was okay when there was like one Marvel movie every year to 2 years, keeping up with them. And then when I had time, I would watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which isn't canon to begin with. But now you got to watch 4 Marvel TV series that are quite bad every year in order to understand why they're in a movie together. And they're just putting out garbage. There's no efforting this, and it is fucking disrespectful. The guy who wrote Secret Invasion, the director, was literally like, well, it's not that my series was bad, it's just that the fans are bad. Marvel fans are bad. And I'm like, you know, that's a really fucking stupid thing to say. Even if it were true, and it's not, it would still be a really fucking stupid thing to say.
Yeah.
The Witcher, I mean, again, we're looking at directors who crashed super giant, guaranteed AAA plus projects because they want to tell their own stupid fucking story that no one gives a shit about. And and Halo did this too. It's a director who's got an idea that they want, and they can't sell it otherwise except to throw another brand onto it. And Witcher season 1 and to some extent season 2, they were like, no, you can't do whatever you want. You have to tell the story of The Witcher, and we're going to give Henry Cavill some fucking room to cook here. And when that very clearly didn't work for season 3, I mean, they've been trying to slander Henry Cavill. Like, the people who make it, Netflix, the director, they've all been trying to slander Cavill as quickly as possible and be like, yeah, he doesn't know what he's talking about, even though it's really obvious he does know what he's talking about because he's right. They just fucking gave up on trying to tell a Witcher story, and this director wants to tell whatever their story is in the Witcher universe because that's what they're getting paid for.
Yeah, I agree.
It's fucking stupid. These are just bad stories in general. This is your last hurrah. You're gonna kill this person, and then we're gonna use you to open doors. Nice.
Yeah, I got when I was at San Diego Comic-Con, I was talking to Charlie about.
You mean Charlie Stickney, the Kickstarter genius, the golden child?
That's correct. Yeah.
Just making sure I understood.
Say the full name for reference sake, but I think
his name is on all of your comics.
Yeah, exactly.
Normally it's just Stickney, but then inside it'll just say Charlie Stickney.
Charlie Stickney. That's right.
You want to know how I know so much about Charlie Stickney and the fact that his name is Charlie Stickney? Because as a Kickstarter genius, I'm about to get really bitter about this. Anytime you launch a new project, Charlie will go back through the Kickstarter logs of all of your every old project you guys have ever done. And so since I support everything you're in, Connor, whenever it's like, hey, the game 2 is launching, I'll get like 7 emails that'll be like, so you supported Galarian. So you supported White Ash 1 and 2. So you supported and I'm just like, Jesus Christ, Charlie, you're fucking killing me, Smalls. You're killing me.
Yeah, I think we're working on a system where that won't happen quite so much. But
maybe it like only said maybe it like checks so it doesn't send the same email address twice.
Well, so that's a limitation of the system of like
Kickstarter, yes.
BackerKit and Kickstarter, that you can't like double check your lists. There's no like internal mechanism for that. So if you want to send an update via Kickstarter, you know, and so we could do it if we maintained an independent newsletter.
But you don't.
Like system, which we do also. But then there's no guarantee that the people who previously backed will sign up for that newsletter. So
I wouldn't, because I already have signed up for so many Kickstarter. And I know that
Like,
Charlie's gonna bomb me with information. It's gonna be like he's flooding pamphlets into my house.
yeah, it's like when Harry Potter's parents tries to like stop him from getting the letter to go to Hogwarts. You're just getting thousands of letters.
I was just gonna say, if I had to print off every email I've ever had from Charlie Snickety, I would have a full fucking novel.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, it's a limitation. We're trying to work on that. I think Kickstarter's also trying to work on that. You know, Kickstarter had a booth at San Diego Comic-Con. We talked to the people at Kickstarter. So, you know, we're trying to see if we can like not do that to people. But currently the system, like if we want to tell some people about our book, then sort of we have to just inundate people with emails. I'll remind him though about this issue again. I think like because he doesn't necessarily know who you know what your user experience is in this regard. So I'll tell him.
But the user experience might put up his ass.
Yeah. Oh, here he comes. I guess he'll never catch your fly guy, so that's the safe way.
That's what I want to. That's what I want though, to get those treasure chests.
Exactly.
I mean, now that I'm a fly guy and I fly high.
Pretty fly. Or an Aemon guy. Yeah, so we talk a lot about the writer strike, and you know, for instance, for streaming, one of the aspects of that is like, they, you know, typically with the way TV works is you might get, like if you made Seinfeld, and you wrote Seinfeld, you would get residuals off of every single time that plays on a TV
right. Like how the Friends actors make $1 million a year.
Exactly, and so that sort of that adds up in the sense that like if you have multiple TV channels buying the show, and then every time they play the show, you get residuals off of that. So in the case of streaming, that's not how it works at all. They don't even know the numbers of like who's watching what. Like in the sense that Netflix knows, but they don't tell people.
Correct.
And so all of that I think adds up to the situation where
hold on. You and I might know this. The audience doesn't know it. But the other thing is that these huge media corporations are also giving themselves tax breaks by saying that a series has been a total loss and writing off the entire cost of the series.
Oh, I didn't know that aspect.
So they're like, oh, Owl House is a total loss. As long as we delete every record it ever existed, every copy of it, and no one can provably fact check it, we can claim that, you know, we get $330 million back in tax breaks, which in the end for them is like they literally have $330 million stuffed in their pocket. But in the process, now they owe nothing to anyone who worked on Owl House and shit like that. They've completely deleted it. Residuals are gone. I mean, HBO Max and not Netflix, but HBO Max and Showtime are both getting very famous for doing these.
Really?
Completely deleting stuff off of their record. Yeah, it's bad. I mean, as you mentioned, the big parts are they aren't telling anybody what their numbers are. They're not reporting it to any of the people who work on these projects. So no one knows what the real numbers are. And these people are cruel. I mean, they literally put out press releases where they're like, you know what? We're going to wait until these people are homeless and starving and cold.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, sure.
Can you imagine working for a boss that says that about you? Can you actually imagine saying that to someone, like with a cigar sticking out of your mouth going, you know what, Jones? We don't need these actors. We're gonna replace them with fucking robots to look exactly like them. Take a puff off the stogie, knock a couple of the grains of the ash out. You know what? Let's wait until they're poor, they don't have homes, it's gonna be fucking winter, they're gonna starve to death or be cold, And then when we got him over the barrel, that's when we start fucking him in the ass. You know? That's when we get him, Jones.
Yeah.
They sound...
no.
When they talk, they sound like villains because they are the bad guys.
Yeah. No, it's insane. And of course, like, just the egregious amount of, you know, profit that they are seeing on the top, the tippy top, versus, you know, what people who are working in the industry get. Another aspect that one thing they want to do with the actors, that's a big one, is like these companies, what they want to do is record your appearance.
Yes.
Like if you're an extra, you show up on the show and you do one set or one shot or whatever, and then you sign a contract where they can take your likeness and recreate it in any other film in the future indefinitely. So it's like, and of course extras like that are a big contribution to what is generally the union itself. So like they pay, like the extras are a big part of who pays the like for health insurance and stuff.
I mean,
like
they're
that.
the super majority of actors.
Yeah. Because I think the way it works is like there's a cap. So like Matt Damon or whatever, like he there's a cap on how much he pays to the WGA.
Right, because they ask you to pay your dues. That's it. That's how unions work. Everybody pays in a relatively similar amount.
Yeah.
Connor's explaining unions to us, folks.
Sorry. Yeah. I mean, I feel like I've been in or participated in some kind of union where it's like actually percentage based.
Interesting.
Like when I worked at the United Nations, I think that union was percentage based in some sense. But, you know, yeah. So
this is actually happening to voice actors right now.
Yeah.
Voice actors are not getting callbacks after they finish voice acting, and they're like, hey, when do we need to do the engineering? When do we need to do the reshoots? And they're hearing back that like, oh, we're just going to use AI to tune your voice, and we own your voice now. And so like agents are suing the shit out of video game companies left and right. One video game company recently released a game that uses a close enough facsimile to Erica Lindbecker's voice, who is a very famous voice actress that's having a really rough time right now because tons of people are using AI to have her voice say really racist, homophobic, anti-Semitic shit and like sending clips of that to her. So they're making her say weird shit. And we love Erica Lindbecker because she's amazing. But also because she's a huge tabletop RPG fan and she's been on Critical Role and a couple of other things. She's a big fan of Fate. I know you didn't play Fate Grand Order for very long, but she's the for the anime, she is the voice for Sir Mordred of the Round Table. And, you know, I'm always a King Arthur fan. I'm a Mordred fan. She's the voice of somebody really popular from Persona 5. I don't know. There's somebody that everybody simps for, and Erica Lindbecker's their voice actor. And yeah, so they basically, this company is saying that the voice is like Erica Lindbecker, but not an exact copy. And so yes, they did use AI to generate it, but it's different enough that it's not her.
Yeah.
But they can make it say or do anything. And on top of it, they made her a black cop, an African-American woman cop, just to differentiate it from the fact that that's not who Erica Lindbecker is.
Sure.
It's just a weird situation. Yes, yeah. I mean, Erica Lindbecker is not African-American to begin with, so it's just a weird situation of weird people doing weird shit. Yeah. I'm not sure I want to do this yet. I think I want to wait one more turn. This guy can't get an angle on that treasure chest from there, right? Yeah, he needs one more turn.
Yeah, AI is definitely doing creating some weird situations in a lot of different fields for sure.
AI was supposed to free us from automation to allow us to pursue creative endeavors. It is not relieving us of automation. I would point out that I'm a huge fan of self-checkout. I'm gonna be flat honest with you because I rarely ever get tons of stuff, and I feel like I'm a trustworthy individual. No arrest record. Keep a camera on me just in case, and I'll fill my basket and be on my way. So they removed all of the in-people checkouts in most places, but the people who actually need them, like young kids or older people who need help with their groceries, now have nobody to turn to. And they still hire somebody to recheck you on the way out, which makes me go, why the fuck? I mean, I've only encountered the situation once because I stopped shopping at places that do that. But my plan is to just walk past them. Like, you've got me on camera. I fully fucking checked out already. I'm not going to check out a second time. That is a waste of everybody's time right here. Like, if you wanted this done right, you should have done it yourself.
Yeah, I haven't
and it's not had
that experience.
Yeah, it's not the people's turn. It's not like any person's fault. It's definitely the corporation's fault, for sure. They've made this situation dumb and stupid. AI and automation should be used to make everybody's life better, and instead it seems to actively be attempting to make everyone's life worse, except for a very few people who want to literally rule over the world. I mean, these people who are like, I'm gonna generate AI art, I'm gonna fucking take voice actors, I'm gonna use their voice to say whatever I want, and that's a thing I've created. I'm like, you didn't create shit, motherfucker. But you and I have already had to talk about what I don't know that we went that deep into it, but what is the soul of creation and what counts as a human creating something versus a human being inspired by other people's works. Like, a truly new concept is so rare, but what does it take to differentiate between an homage and an inspiration? That's too complicated for me right now. I'm in prison and I'm trying to escape. Uh-oh, where are we? Oh, look at this guy. His name is Dumbass. What kind of voice is this guy going for? First off, his mouth is covered by his... Is he just wearing a really tall coat with the collar popped up to his nose? Or is he wearing like a... It looks like it's all one thing. Like, that's not like a bandana that he's wearing around his mouth. He's just an incredibly tall, well-starched, stiff coat that goes up to his nose.
Yeah.
You have failed indeed to escape my dungeon, Batman.
Perfect.
If you were wise, you would have stayed below and died quietly. Now you shall die a less pleasant death.
That's too bad. This guy's got one of the best villain designs we've seen so far. And we're definitely gonna fucking kill him and never hear from him again.
Yeah. We've had a lot of characters like that, like the Archer in the last fight.
I would not say that they were, uniquely good. Well, this guy, though, is just very hammy. Alright, Connor, this looks like a nightmare, so give me the tactical breakdown.
The first two turns are hopeless, but still hard. I think he means not hopeless, but still hard. First, the starting situation is annoying. Of the boxed-in arena, 3 sides have grenadiers, while the ground floor has 2 juggernauts and centurions. Move Eleni far away from the 2 juggernauts, but enough that Roman fire can blast both of them for about 100 plus damage. Move Clint towards the southwest corner of the map, and distance him far away enough that the warlocks can't hit him with Rainbow Stroke, which will basically kill him in the long run. Aemon and Darius can do whatever they want since it's unlikely they'll be targeted. Reinforcements arrive in 2 turns. For the Allies' side, they appear on the southwest upper wall, which is why Clint should have moved near there. He can be healed by the bishops. It shouldn't be that hard to clear out a few enemies by kicking the boulder and physically attacking in magic. If the Warlock gets killed then, hooray. If not, next turn will do it. The Blood Bats, like usual, can be a huge annoyance with their paralysis inflicting strikes. Use the lower range archers and Zohar's magic to help put them in their place before they waste their bishop's MP on elevation statuses. Alleviation statuses. When the enemies on the wall start to thin, Dumas himself will come after the party. Make sure the switch is pressed and someone goes to get the mana key in the west wall's dirty outside portion. That's a hidden item. The boss can be killed rather easily with a lot of long-range moves and one killing blow. His Vorpal Chain is 100 plus damage powerful, so no stupid aggressive attacks on the player's part. So yeah, there's a gold coin in the shell pattern south dirt, and mana key in the west wall hole tile.
I'm gonna need, listen, I didn't follow where any of those hidden items were. I'm gonna need you to do that for me, Connor.
Yeah, of course. So in the south,
Can't jump out.
the shell pattern south dirt. So go to the south, on the south side. I think it might be on the outside of the wall.
South side. Oh, I see. Yes, yes, yes. I see the Nautilus shell. Okay. And the other one?
Mana key, which is important, is in the west wall, the hole tile. West wall, hole tile. That's the.
This one?
Yes. Hole
Or this
tile.
one?
I think it's the in the. I think it's that crater thing.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I might have to trust you.
Yeah.
Oh, can you go one more? Can I get this guy? It'd be amazing if I could. If not, he's in a lot of trouble. He's gonna get the shit kicked out of him.
Yeah. Can Eamon fly up top? No, it can't.
No, and that's so annoying.
Yeah. Just briefly, possibly cap off that AI discussion. One of my favorite artists, Tanshi Zonyich, I think he said something like, you know, an AI can create interesting things, but you know, if it doesn't know why, I'm not interested.
Well,
that
I mean, there is a very complicated discussion on the nature of art and the importance of questioning why you would draw a big titty waifu or just enjoying big titty waifus, you know? Like,
Well,
for
I
some
think
people, the question of why this is being drawn doesn't matter. There's just different ways of enjoying art.
Referring to there is not the why of like why the drawing, but the why as in why did you make all the decisions that went into the drawing. So it's not like the what that you've done. It could be whatever it is. I assume I'm interpreting now, but I think he's more talking about process. Why did you make that shape? That shape? Why did you use that expression on the face? Why did you use whatever line work that you used? All those things are the decisions that you do to make a drawing. Are that they're much. We're talking about smaller things than like say, oh, what did you draw? Like, did you draw a big titty waifu, or did you draw like a landscape or whatever? That's like kind of beside the point in some sense to the process. What's interesting about the process?
Sure, but I think my thing is also true.
Yeah. I'm not.
Some
I'm
people
referring
just
to what
listen.
you meant by that quote.
I discussed this on Intro Hour that their only AI that I've ever found impressive is the Victorian era big titty waifu generator.
Yeah.
That does exactly what it says it does. It uses
I may have seen such things.
yeah, it uses classic period, publicly available, non-copyrighted artworks to just do exactly like it looks like it was drawn in that period. And
Yeah.
it's just women wearing regular dresses, but with large bosoms, to be clear. And I'm like, oh, wow, this is actually a really pleasant, reasonable use of this technology. Completely overlaps with the use case I'm looking for. I don't know if I want to use Roman fire. Everybody here's almost dead, right? Let me double check that. I feel like I can just get away with face shit. Oh no, I can't. I'm just gonna face shift it anyway. I might not even need to be this far, right? Because I can hold on. Yeah, I can hit those two that are out there quite a distance away. I probably don't need to be anywhere close. Yeah, I can move at least 2 left and 2 down. On actuality, here should catch the end of the... No, it didn't. Getting 1 up and 1... Is it literally right where I was standing is the edge? Yeah, I guess so. All right, but I will catch all those guys, so let's do it. 130 XP a Lenny, that's what I'm looking for right here.
Big money, big money, big money.
The real problem is Clint's just gonna fucking die. I mean, all it takes is 1 warlock or 1 grenadier. Oh, I got one of the centurions. Nice. I've mostly cleared out the bottom area. That's... Yeah, that was huge from a Lenny.
Yeah.
That's a fucking chaos sweep right there.
Well, I think if you march Clint forward now, a healer could reach him.
But I've already moved everybody.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah.
Is it? Okay.
I've long been a follower of the examining the school of thought that says humans need to see cute shit to get through the day, and I no longer have giant folders full of waifu pictures because I decided that I was going to grow up and be an adult. On the other hand, I did mostly use those to... I was going to discuss this during intro hour, but I actually got too busy. And I feel like if I discuss it here, you know what? I can do this discussion 2 times. Almost nobody watches this show. The way I describe characters has gotten a lot less refined because I've noticed that I have much fewer artists watching my show. I get no fan art, and people just draw assumptions about, well, I mean, they technically do draw assumptions, but by using the word draw, I may have accidentally made you think that it's only artists. People come to their own conclusion as to when I'm describing somebody, what they think they look like, regardless of, and this is not exclusive in any way to my show. Very famously, the fact that the fan artists for Critical Role have all declared that Marion, the Ruby of the Sea, has red hair, despite the fact that at every possible opportunity Matt has to describe her, he talks about how she famously has a black hair, but because he called her the Ruby of the Sea, everyone assumes she has red hair, right? Like, people take their own interpretation no matter how you describe it. She will always have red hair for the community going forward. Even though all the official artwork and every description Matt has ever given has given her black hair. So that's just something you have to live with, right? Like, that's just how things fall. I've stopped describing characters, and I feel like I've fallen off on describing a lot of things. Like the situation people are in, what's around them, and I haven't talked to anybody about it, so I don't know whether people think it's better or worse. It feels like my style now concentrates very heavily on the discussion between characters. It's less about what people look like and even what's going on than what they're saying. The dialogue and their actions to some extent, because like I may not be flower lily describing somebody going down a fire pole at a fire station while thorn whip vines are gathering all around them, and vividly describing how the green of the thorns and the vines juxtaposes against the mirrored steel of civilization as a druid chases a goblin fire guy through the, you get what I'm saying here, right? Though, like, I don't do those kind of descriptions anymore. I just say, okay, you're casting, XY, and it catches up with him and it has him trapped. And I don't know if that's better or worse. I'm not a good judge of my own art, insofar as you can call it art. So I don't know whether that's good or bad, or if that's what people want to see more of, is the discussions in the RP, which I think I am somewhat known for, is what people call the Arthur Perkins character, which is just having a good time talking to somebody, even if it's a real fucking weirdo. Wow, she's really starving for MP.
I'd say the same thing occurs, when I read books. I will, you get a description from the author, but at a certain point you really disregard a lot of that, possibly.
Yeah.
And you sort of generate your own vision for the character based on, what the actions they've taken and so forth. And Dan Adnett was talking about, I listened to an interview with him, and he was talking about, how he imagines the character of Ibn Gaunt differently depending on the book. So like early on he imagines one actor possibly, or a different actor, and then eventually you sort of create an amalgamation of all those different identities. That's how you envision as the character. So, and then speaking more to your point about description, I think two things about that. One is that it's actually very difficult to hold in your mind the image of an event. I think generally speaking, even as a visual person who does that actively all the time, it is difficult to sort of maintain that, and then also like keep up with your description of how you're describing the event, and then also what's in my mind actively at the same time, because sometimes they are two different things, and so holding those two images or reconciling those two images is difficult. So people can fill in the gaps, and that's how I think that's how a lot of writers tend to work, especially as they get on in their in the number of books that they've written. There's less expectation to fill in all the gaps, and then knowing which details to really fill that will be the springboard that a reader or a visualizer will be able to imagine the scene with. Because sometimes you just need a few details to hinge to set up an entire concept of a scene.
I feel like this is where AI could save us but won't. Would be just
yeah.
Just like, as a tabletop RPG guy, I would love to be able to just say, okay, this is what the background of this scene looks like, and just either before the show or during it, just get it and throw it up there, and everyone goes, oh, okay, that's what we're looking at. Not every scene needs a battle map. And if I'm flat honest, if you put a battle map out on a table, people will immediately assume they're going to go into battle. They're going to start thinking and talking differently. They see a battle map, they think, a battle has been prepared for here, so I should be ready. Not there's so few people that are prepared for sandbox style games where just because there's a map doesn't mean there's going to be a fight on it.
Yeah, I mean the inclination to metagame, and I use that word.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
Because I think I did the same thing when I was playing. I wouldn't realize that I was, but certainly I think in some sense, yeah, it's just an innate habit, especially from video games, of understanding how to that you're being prompted to understand that you are going to be put into this box of events. Meanwhile, tabletop RPGs are sort of all about the opposite of that. Like you have endless possibilities, especially with a DM like yourself, who can account for all those possibilities. So
We don't always account for all those possibilities. I account for a lot of possibilities, but random ass shit players do sometimes still surprise you. And they can just fail miserably and all end up stuck in some sort of succubus's evil trap. And then they're all just doing theater.
A sign that players are supposed to observe.
Oh my god. That was one of my favorite moments, and I still think about it all the time. To be like, here's an enemy you guys think you would have trouble with. Their bones are piled with several other monsters outside of a cave. And Connor goes, we should go in there. And Cotton goes, wait, no.
Yeah,
we've heard this before. We know what's going to happen. This is a warning not to go in here. And I go, hey, you do what you want to.
Are you sure?
Oh my god. What a phrase. What a powerful phrase. Are you sure you want to do that?
You sure you want to do that? Yeah, I feel like that's a good like, I mean, probably not. Probably very cliche, but I feel like it could be a good, in a certain world, a good podcast name.
Are you sure you want to do that? I'll agree with that, sure. Do I lose if my boy dies? No, I lose if Clint dies. Interesting.
Oh, that's surprising. Yeah, I didn't expect that.
Interesting. So I can actually risk Ash like this with no fucking worries.
Yep.
I don't want to risk my bishop, though. Going down the hill to this Nautilus shell, so I'm probably just going to send Grog.
Yeah, I was going to say.
He did his worth. I have to be honest, fucking Dolan's been useless. He got blocked by a dude without a shield that he rear attacked twice in a row. That's either really bad luck or total fucking uselessness.
That's not good. Oh, wow. Nice block.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Dolan always gets, you know, like some kind of raw end of the deal whenever I...
And look, there it is again. Here's Dolan.
Yeah, there's Dolan.
Getting magic attack to death. Here's Dolan.
Yeah, I was going through the D&D drawings like yesterday, and I was like, damn, these are cool. Like the things we did together, that was a fun time.
Yeah.
I had like the Corsair port map that I was developing, and then I had Cotton's character with her like spider goggles.
Yeah, the night goggles. Yep.
Night goggles.
Well, I really hope Ash can die here. Otherwise, that was the battle. Okay, yeah, we're good.
Battle.
I mean, not having Ash to be able to fight the boss is probably a big deal, but, you know, there's like 4 dudes charging down one lane. There's not much I can do here. Somebody's gonna die.
Yeah.
Bats is weak, so I can set Dolan up to act as a support on the other bat. Hey, you did something.
Nice job.
No. Nope. All these are wrong. There we go. You know, that was your idea, was getting that group together. You pitched it to me. And I believe you also were the one to pitch the drawing during it. And that has now become very... I don't know that anyone stole it from you specifically, but that is now very popular at Gen Con. And Akaroki is... they have groups that play live, and then they have multiple artists drawing the scenes and characters live now.
Oh, that's different.
Very popular concept nowadays. You may have revolutionized the whole genre.
I mean, people were definitely doing it before I came along.
Very well.
But,
I don't know anything about it.
I mean,
what we did was special together, okay?
It was special. Yeah. Yeah, it was. I think it was.
I'll never forget how Mick drew a Dick Rock.
Dick Rock.
This was my first encounter with Mick. Yep.
Yeah. Iconic, maybe. Iconic for.
Yes, for Mick, very iconic for sure. Yeah. Absolutely. And now Bearded is on GFA, which is starting its 3rd season and final season tomorrow.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I got.
That'll be it. It'll be done so. All right, hold on. My mom has sent me a very complicated message with the text line cornbread.
You would think cornbread would be a simple sort of like thing in life, but it's complex.
She's going to Costco, and she wants to know if she should pick up the new green chili cornbread while she's there. The answer should be, of course. Of course, pick up
Green chili cornbread. I haven't heard of that.
That's because it's a new item that just came out.
Yeah. At Costco, you said?
Yeah.
We still have a membership there. Maybe I'll tell the wife.
I mean, Costco is a great deal. Everything they do is fantastic.
I don't know. I think we're probably going to cancel our membership just because we don't really find that we save that much compared to some other options.
I mean, a lot of people don't have other options, but the other thing to consider is that a lot of Costco products are extremely high quality. You might be able to get similar prices elsewhere, but like Costco and the Kirkland brand are all like very high quality. Toilet paper, foods. All right, Jesus Christ, my mom must have a full-on conversation. Just call me. How do I want to handle this? Start with the guy only attacking a line. He's just loosening the lid on the jar. Let's see if Dolph can... I don't know what this button's gonna do. So... But because there's a button, I want to press it.
Let's see if the guide says anything. It probably opens up a gate. So that...
There
that
it
way
is.
Clint can get out, and he can get the item, maybe.
We're gonna move him up here and then move the bishop code tangentially to heal him. So that he can dash after Clint and support him. Ninja claw swipe! That's not very good. Be consumed, Dark Star! Ah! I was practicing my JRPG villain voice acting.
King Dragon.
Yes, that's right, Mr. Warlock. Come on down. I'd assume at some point these people should run out of mana points, but it doesn't seem like that's gonna happen.
Yeah, you'd hope, but
As I believe I can fly. Believe I can touch the sky. Think about it. Every night and day might just be worthwhile to just use a healing item rather than risk dying on a counterattack and then followed up with another attack. Wait until the bros are together and then swipe him out in one move. I need to buy time to get to the item, so we will actually retreat, weirdly enough. Suzoa, take my healing power! Ah! I feel like I've become Dragon Ball, actually. Apparently, in order to cast magic in this world, you have to charge up.
Some of your energy.
Spirit Bomb.
Spirit Bomb.
Classic. Oh, this could be quite bad for you, my friend.
Close. I wonder, is he damaged at all? Well, can Clint one-shot him, you think?
I don't think so. He's not damaged in any way, shape, or form.
It's not good. But at least, I mean, he could have teamed up on Clint, which would be worse.
Could be worse.
Shot.
I'm hoping he can jump up beside Clint and get a side attack from above using his movement speed, and that is not the case. Not the one. Clint has bought himself time, however. If this guy's gonna bomb Clint, Clint will survive and chase him down and kill him. Guy's got 152 health. That's fucked up. Oh ho, get wrecked. What must that be like to get so far and taste defeat? Oh Jesus, he just killed Dolan in one hit. 104 damage.
Yeah, he's tough.
It's ironic because we can't actually kill him this turn, or we won't be able to get that other item. This guy. Their magic defense must just be off the fucking charts.
Yeah. You are bad like that.
Oh, I may have prevented my guy from getting healed. About healing circle. No, I bet that only heals the people around you. You're wide. No. Healing circle. Nope. Okay, well, that was a mistake, but we're here now. Sir Zohar, take my power! Ah, Clint could die. He's now at a deep risk of dying.
Whoa.
Yep.
Damn. That is rough.
Go from beginning of map. Okay. The bell tolls for thee.
Very nice.
So what is involved in the process of lettering for us uninitiated heathens?
Sure. So, typically I used to do all my lettering in Clip Studio Paint, which is what I use mostly to draw, which is a pretty great program in my opinion, because you can just do so much in it. But the problem with using that is because it works okay for what I imagine to be like Japanese writing, but with English you got a lot of things like ligatures, which it doesn't support. Ligatures are unique configurations of letters that we typically have in English, where like, so, you know, FI for instance is a ligature when you remove the dot of the I and the crossbar of the F combines with the I. That's one example. And there's things like that in like lettering for comics as well that are missing in that program. Anyway, that aside, not to go too much into the weeds of that. Now I'm working in Illustrator, and Illustrator, you know, it's a more robust tool, but it's also just a lot more time-consuming. So it's kind of a drag in some sense. But the output you get is like a little bit better, because basically you're sending your letters to the printer in a vector format, which is different than raster format, and basically that makes it so that the line work is clearer and more legible. So right now I'm actually doing more like graphic sort of creation for the game, and you know, if anyone's read the game, they know that there's numbers that appear in front of Eli to signify whether or not what's going on, where he is in the game of
The
that
game
he's playing.
Yeah.
And
the game of the game.
The game of the game. And so yeah, I was figuring that out, and so I'm putting a lot of like warp effects on the text so that like they appear in space right now. And then I'm also doing sort of on the opening page of issue 3, there's this idea where each panel is going to be a card, I think, and I'm going to sort of do like it's a magic card kind of deal. We were toying with different ideas of like what kind of card it might be, or what kind of way that the page itself might be a game. And so I think I'm gonna go for a magic card game, where you've got like attributes, I suppose you might say, on the card and stuff like that. So that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Yeah, so typically, like, the process of normal lettering might be you take your script, you import the script into text into your Illustrator file, and at that point you're going to then make sure that it's inside an appropriately sized bubble to make sure the words wrap around correctly, and then underneath that you will also create a separate bubble, and then that's a series of vector art shapes that you can combine, and you can put effects on, and then once you got the lettering down, and then you have your bubbles as well as your tails. You then can start doing effects and stuff like that. And all of that typically you want separated out into various layers so that they can be isolated. And there's various like printing requirements to make sure that everything's sort of printing correctly. And then we end up importing all of that into into InDesign, and that's how you would finish out the book creation process. You'd export from InDesign, creating a PDF.
Okay. This is going to sound crazy to some of my viewers, those viewers who watch this show, but I actually don't make that many PDFs. I think I've made one PDF in my whole life.
Yeah, don't you normally like sign like a PDF? Like, are you excluding that as a? Like,
I mean,
like, if you
I've remotely signed, because Adobe will now, if someone requests that you sign something, Adobe will email it to you, right? And then you can add a digital signature to it, and then they'll process it in the cloud. You know what I'm talking about?
Sure.
Yeah. That's about the only PDF signing that I do. Yeah. I just don't work with it that much.
I mean, yeah, Adobe Reader is not a wonderful program to use, I would say. I don't think it's very fun to use as a program. Like, it's not light. It's kind of like finicky. It doesn't move nicely. It's not a great way to like browse an image or a series of images, in my mind.
My Clint's gonna die. I'm just gonna lose here because I forgot to move him to the southwest. Yep, there it is.
There it is.
Connor, I'm losing focus here.
It is a tough battle.
It's a good time to take a break. Let me save state. Do that. You got closing thoughts for today?
We'll break out of prison next week, you know?
Yeah, I'm confident we will. I just gotta stop fucking around.
This I think, if I recall, like, from when I played it as a kid, this is like one of the toughest battles in the game, so I understand. How about you, AP? Closing thoughts?
Closing. Sleep is good.
Mm-hmm.
Experiencing life is also good.
It's all about balancing those two things. Those two
if
needs.
both of those things are true, then all things must be good.
Yeah.
That's all I got. Friends, join us next week. Connor? ?
Yeah, should be good.
Very well.